Hello, welcome back, and you're very welcome if you're new. Today we're doing a 6-month update from my planner and then also my 2 journals, which we'll talk about in a second. And I'm going to do a flip through of the first 6 months. So make yourself comfy, get your favourite drink, and let's get started. So this is the Hemlock Oak B5 Minimal Planner. But yes, I've been so impressed with this planner and absolutely love it. It's the perfect size for me in B5. I love the flex cover. It has really handled the chunk. This is the first 6 months. As you can see, I've put it to the test because I use so much stickers. But I haven't had any issues with the binding, not being able to cope with it or anything. Now it is really heavy, but that doesn't bug me. All my planners have been really heavy every year, regardless of which one it is, again, because I use so much stickers and stuff. I did consider at one point putting a clear backing on this, and you'll see in a second from my journal, I did. But as soon as I saw what it looked like, I didn't want to do it, and I'm glad I didn't do it because I like the way this looks. And even though there are some parts that might be a little bit worse for wear from it, it's not bad. It's held up really well. I don't take this planner out. It just stays on my desk. Well, actually it stays on a shelf behind me, and then I lift it down each day to use. And I haven't had any issues. And because of the fact that it's paper flex, I was able to stick a vinyl on it. Really love that. And this is so cute. And I love the foiled 2025. It's the colour Referral, I think it was called, the blue. And it has the foiled hemlock and oak on the back. And yeah, just altogether really impressed. I love the paper quality. They have, I think it's called Archival. They have 2 types now. They have a new one that's 70 GSM, which I think is Architect. I don't know, I'll write the 2 types up there because I've taken a mental blank. But this is their original paper and it just handles up to everything so well. Now, if they had have released 70 GSM paper in this, I probably would have got it. But their 70 GSM option for 2026 is only available in the daily and weekly combined. So I'm probably just going to stick with this thicker paper. But the reason being is I don't really tend to use inks or anything like that, and I never use Sharpies, and so I don't necessarily need it to be really thick. And the 70 GSM paper is fountain pen friendly, and next year I'm going to take a break from kits, and seeing as I'm going to be writing on the paper a lot, I thought it would be really cool to start using my fountain pens more. However, that idea went out the window, because like I said, that's not released, but I've no complaints about the paper. You know, it would make it a little thinner with lots of stickers if I started with 70 GSM, and it's more fountain pen friendly. But again, however, in saying that, I still write on this. I've wrote the odd title with a fountain pen, and it's the same paper in my journal, and I have wrote with fountain pens in it. So it's personal preference. I am getting the 70 GSM paper in a notebook soon. I pre-ordered it a wee while ago and I'm just waiting on it. And I'll actually be able to test what it's like. So I haven't tried it, but in relation to this original paper, it's amazing paper. I have no complaints with it. Anyway, right, so I just put a little Coffee Monsterz Co nameplate and 2025 and kept it simple. And then I stuck this here saying cute stuff inside, 2025. The year of the snake. And then this is the other vinyl, one of my favourites. These are both from Hubman and Chubgirl from the Bookworm collection, and I have a little creativity juice vinyl, so I like to be creative. Then here I did 2025 themes because I've been using the Coffee Monsterz Co monthly kits, and I thought this would be a fun little reference page to remember the theme names, and it has been. I refer to it every month to remember. At this minute we're in July and I'm doing Poolside Read, and I'm able to remember that okay. And this was just printed on sticker paper and I sized it and I did it over 2. Underneath this was calendars, but I didn't need a calendar spread in it. I'll link below the setup of this planner, which is probably better if you're wanting to see what this looked like before and see the setup and everything. But yeah, no complaints, love this spread. And I love this spread as well. This has been fun to keep track of all the different kits I've used. Down the side I put some Hobonichi Weeks artwork from the monthlies, and this is from Hubman and Chubgirl, and it's my weekly theme spread. and this is so much better than the year before. I tried this weekly theme spread in 2024 and I didn't like how it turned out at all, and this is gorgeous. This is the perfect layout for it in this planner. And then here you get 4 little sections, and I just did Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and did some of the decorations with the different monthly stickers from Coffee Monsterz Co. And this is what I check every month whenever I'm pre-planning to set up my monthly. I'll make a note of the events that are coming up. So that's a nice little reference. And then that takes me into the monthlies, and these tabs are from Coffee Monsterz Co. So this is like my January overview dashboard, and I do memories, 3 things from this month. Journals theme, I have 2 journals and I use the same theme in the monthlies, the Hubman and Chubgirl subscriptions. And then this month's theme, so January, is document memories, and that's, like I was saying, I am able to remember the name of the theme. And then here I have a picture version of the weekly themes. So I have here that this was Hello 2025, Positivity Pop-Ups, Arctic Winter, Happy Dinos, and Perfect Breakfast. What I actually did wrong in this, I was so used to, if it had a date from a future month, so this is 27th to the 2nd of February, I was always used to it being in February. So that's why I laid these out like this, but it's fine. This planner does it with, if there's more days for January in it, then it goes in January. If there's more days for February in it, it goes in February. So next year, if I set this spread up again, I'll know to actually check that and not just go with the previous rule that I've always been used to. But yeah, I love looking back on this, my little weekly themes. It's just so adorable. The little sample of the stickers. Hello, Cody. And then this is the monthly spread. So what I do is I fill in the things I know about when I'm planning at the start of the month, and then as the month goes on, each day I write in a little something. I used to not do that, and my monthly was really blank, but ever since I started doing this, it's perfect for me. I love looking back at it and it being so full. And you'll see all I wrote here was it was a cleaning day, you know, so it's nothing phenomenal that I write in, but it's just fun being able to look back at a completely full spread. And if there's somewhere where I don't have much to write, like here I've wrote my nephew's birthday, and then I've filled in the little spaces with the decor stickers from the kit. There's where I covered my year in my life journal with the clear plastic, which is a random thing to remember, but hey ho, still fun to look back on. Anyway, so then we're into week 1. This is a lovely little collection. I actually preferred 2024's because it was purple, but I'm biased because I love the colour purple. But this is a cute collection too. And I've been using the standard kits this year. I have used the odd Hobonichi kit because I don't have the standard kit and really love the theme and want to use it. But for the most part, I've been using my pre-collected standard kits in here, and this is a standard size for the New Year's theme. And if you watch my plan with me, you know that I only fill out, like here I would have had Tesco delivery, leave out the bins and which bins they are, but then I fill it out and use almost like a daily. Love the colours in this little theme. So it ends up being really full and fun to look back on. And then this is a gorgeous winter theme. I think it might be my favourite winter kit I have. It's Arctic Winter. And then this is Happy Dinos. Love the colours in this as well. The majority of kits I've used this year have been Hubman and Chubgirl. This was the February subscription theme, but I used, I think I actually used the standard kit in this rather than the Hobonichi. Yeah, because I switched. I actually only switched, I think it was about March or April, to the Hobonichi subscription kit. I was getting the standard, and like I said, I was collecting all the standard kits, but now I've swapped. And then this dashboard I use, you know, I said January review and overview, but that's kind of a review in the sense that that's memories, so it's not really right. This is more my overview of the month. This is used for currentlies. So currently totals, I watched 6 movies, 2.5 series, 1 book, and my reading challenge was 1 out of 20. I went through a phase last year, and I think I read more last year than I did if you totaled up every book I'd read in my life. But I've totally come out of that phase. So it was a bit unnecessary to do that. I probably should have, I wish I had have added it in the year before and thought of it, because that's when I was actually reading lots of books. But sure, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna keep it, and at the end of the day, if I get to the end of the year and I've still only read 1, it doesn't matter. So anyway, then I picked 2 of my favourites from the currentlies and put a little picture of what they were, and then I put a favourite currently quote, and that's been quite fun. It's not necessarily always a quote that's like, you know, I try not to overthink it. It doesn't have to be something really profound. It can be something that made me laugh, you know what I mean? I don't overthink it, basically. And then here I list out any series or films I watch and when. So, then we're into February, and the same thing, same layout. It's been working perfectly for me. I'm going to continue with it. This is another favourite winter theme I have, Cozy Winter. Anyway, then this is February, how it turned out. Really gorgeous. And I love the fact that the event labels match the colouring of her kits now. It's just so beautiful. The way it all looks together in the end of the month. Seeing it all filled out. And then this is Cozy Winter. I didn't actually have a kit for this week because there was none released, so I used Zig Clean colour dots just to write what the event or thing was, and then use the decor sticker in between. I think this is actually the only week I didn't use a kit, but I couldn't help myself with this particular theme. It was too gorgeous not to use. And then this is the Lovely Gnomes for Valentine's. And then this one, I can't remember the name of the kit. I think it's Cozy Plants or something like that. A cute one. Never get tired of a good coffee theme. I could do it over and over and over. And down here I always put the week where I worked, whether it was from home or in the office or whatever. I was just working from home here, so I didn't write work from home, work from home, work from home. But I start doing that once I go back to the office, because at the start of the year I was on phased return after being off. And I was just working from home. Anyway, yes, so work and then weather. I just realised I've missed 2. Oh, that's so annoying. How did I do that? I haven't done that in any other week, and I can't believe I did that. I'm never going to be able to find that now. I'm just going to have to put a score. Oh, how annoying. Oh well, I'll just have to get over it, Ruth. Anyway, so yeah, this is a gorgeous kit. Coffee time. And then this is the February currentlies. As you can see, I didn't read any books. I was watching Buffy, hadn't watched it in years. The earlier seasons were better, they were funny. And I always put the Coffee Monsterz code TV Doodle and Book Doodle on each of them, because she's released them to represent the seasons, apart from summer TV doodles, but they'll come out eventually, I'm sure. And then March. All the little spring themes are starting to creep in here. I opened a TikTok account. I never thought I would, but I did. And then that's the completed month. Vintage stationery, another gorgeous theme. And then these little bumblebees, really adorable. And then this is a really gorgeous theme. I actually just got a folder in this theme that I'm going to use for spring. Not a folder, a binder. They just released, and I'm really happy that I got it because it sold out like that. I'm going to keep my spring kits in it. And then Hello Spring. This was a spring collection from the year before. This was actually, I think, 2023's collection she re-released, and this was 2024. She's been doing some re-releases this year, which makes me really happy because I only discovered her in 2023 towards the end. So it's nice to be able to get to do like that. I wouldn't have had it, and the same with Cozy Winter. And then I only had one favourite, didn't really want to pick out another one. So I just stuck some of those spring stickers for Spring is in the Air in my current lease. And then we're into April, and that is another gorgeous collection, as well as our Easter collection, really cute. That's a completed April. I repainted the walls in my studio. I got a new desk and a rug. Apparently I can't spell. I started walking the dog. I've been trying to be healthy and I've really been sticking to it. And we're still walking her. We'll go 3 times a week. Then this is Cappy Spring. This was new this year. The year before she had released Cappy Autumn. So I'm wondering if she'll do a winter and a... what's the other season? Summer as well in this. And then this cute little froggy theme. I didn't actually have a lot going on this month and only had one larger sticker sheet of decor. And I actually used some of it for a journal spread too. And then this was actually a Hobonichi cousin kit that I bought, but I used all the full boxes down here. So I printed out some of the free digitals that match it on sticker paper to fill in some spaces, which is really handy. Oh, Easter, it's another one in the Gnomes collection and it's really adorable. Little gunks. And then I've used the Dancing in the Rain. Wasn't that called Dancing in the Rain? Or no, it was Rainy Days. Dancing in the Rain was the monthly theme. Yeah, Dancing in the Rain's the monthly theme. And Rainy Day is this. Really cute with all the little bunnies and ducks. And then you can see I didn't watch very many films that month. Absolutely love Rapunzel. It's one of my favourite Disney films. Cried the first time I watched it. Oh dear. Anyway, and then May, I decided to repaint my bedroom in May from, it was like a green wall and grey, and I repainted it all the different colours of brown. That's called Wooded Walk, and then that was like a taupe colour. I want to get new bed covers, but it was a start because I just couldn't find green bed covers anywhere. And I was just over the green in my bedroom, and I'm going to put the green in my office instead when I do it up. So I took a notion and redid it. So there you go. And that's a completed month. That's where I was painting because I was on annual leave. And then this is another gorgeous theme, Capture the Moment. With the little cows and cameras. Be perfect for a socials journal theme. You'll see my socials journal in a second. And then this little Space Pups theme, Blast Off. And that's a printed digital. Fill in some space. And then this is Quality Time. We're still walking the dog and going well. It's another cute wee theme. And then this is a gorgeous theme. I actually got the fountain pen and this from this collection, Tabletop Treasures. That was for TCMC's anniversary this year. Beautiful. And this is what I'm talking about. I did try writing in fountain pen in this and there was no issue. So if you prefer the thicker paper but you're really put off by the fact you want to write in fountain pens, I don't see why you couldn't keep the thicker paper and write in a fountain pen. And then this is Farmer's Market. bears. And May. Then we're into June. I had my very last nail appointment because I want to do my own. And I did this little summery theme, which was completely ironic because I thought, yeah, the summer weather's here, we've got gorgeous days, I want to enjoy this. And then the week I used this, the weather was bad. Well, I say bad, it was rainy, it was still warm, but I completely jinxed it. Anyway, this is the completed June. Lovely. And then this is Strawberry Cows, and it's harvesting strawberries. Wasn't a very full week, so I used all the little smaller stickers to fill it out. And then I had to use this, not just for a vinyl at the front, the Cozy Bookworms, one of my favourite themes she's ever done. In fact, it might be my favourite, I don't know. But really gorgeous. Sorry, I'm booked. Gorgeous colours and everything. And then this is really adorable too. This is Monkey Love, and it was our 13th anniversary. So I used it. I was going to use this for Valentine's and use the lovely gnomes for my anniversary, but I thought this just suited February colours better. I don't know why, but it would have worked either way. Anyway, and then here's my little tropical theme, tropical fun. And yes, it was 17-18, 17-18, and then it was nice at the weekend, but it rained. If you look at the week before, when I decided, it was 25, 23, you know, I thought we were coming into a heat wave. So I thought, yeah, let's get the tropical out, and totally jinxed it, but whatever. I could still enjoy sunshine through my planner. And these wee flamingos are adorable. And then this is the June currentlies. And I watched no movies, no books, one series. And I thought I would explain this by the fact that I've gone down a rabbit hole of watching nail videos, so that's why I didn't really do anything else, because I've just been watching, well, I watched a full series and then I watched those YouTube videos. And I thought this was funny. Lydia, please shut up and let me save your life. That series wouldn't be the same without his character. Anyway, and then we're into July. So that's the first half of the year all completed. Absolutely obsessed with this, like I said. Love looking back on it. Have absolutely no complaints, and it's handling up so far. So we'll check in again at the end of the year and see how it goes. And then really quickly, I have a year in my life journal. And at the start of the year, I couldn't decide whether I wanted to do it all in 1 year or split it into 2. And I actually initially bought the duo and then bought the full year. And I figured, you don't know till you try. I was so used by that point, anytime I journaled, I had the full year in 1 year, and I thought it would annoy me if I didn't and I would regret it. But I thought it would be much easier if I didn't want to continue in the full year to take half of it away than it would be to try it the other way round and have 2 separate books that I want to put together, which wasn't possible, so I did. I will show you a little clip at the end when I'm finished talking and the video's over of how I did it, but I'm not going to do a tutorial style because if you do it and your book falls apart, I don't want anyone to hate me. So if you do it at your own risk, but it's worked perfectly fine for me. I took the second half off. I then wrapped this in a vinyl. So my planner now ends with the initial notes section of continued journaling and just go straight to the back. And then this second half goes straight into July. So I have my monthly and then my little July section. I've been doing an ocean theme in my planner, so I've been making the most of all the ocean stickers, but I'm not going to do every day in July as an ocean theme. I'll link below the video where I explain all this. I'll not go into details again of how I use it and everything, and I did a flip through of the full January so you can see how I use it. But to say I'm obsessed with this is an understatement. I absolutely love this thing. And even though I ended up having to change my mind and divide it in 2, I'm perfectly fine with that, it worked. I do regret sticking this clear cover, that's what I was talking about earlier. but I was just so afraid of it being damaged and I wanted to protect it. So I put a clear cover over the front and back. It doesn't ruin it for me or anything, but it's not something I want to do again. I'm not going to do it on this one. If I go down the route of wanting to take this out and about more, I will maybe buy an outer cover. And now that I'm only using the 6 months version, it'll be a lot easier to find an outer cover than the big fuller one. So we'll see how it goes for next year. However, I will point out that it wasn't because it wasn't handling the chunk. It totally was. It was more because it was annoying me. This is only half a year, so can you picture this double? That, you know, and trying to write in it and just how heavy it had become. It was kind of driving me a bit insane. I don't know if it would be the same in a hardback, but it's one of those things that you never know till you try. And if I bought a hardback and had tried it, you can't really take the back off it. It's the same, so I have no regrets. I am more of a soft bound, paper bound person anyway. Maybe one day in the future I'll bite the bullet and try the hardcover, but yeah, for now I'm just loving this, and I only have to fill out the bits at the front, so because they're not duplicated in here. So I have this that I've been filling out just for fun because I have the same theme, you know, the subscription theme, as the main setup, like this outer part here, and then I do a different theme every day and put a little sticker in, but I'll continue filling this out to the end of the year. And then I've done a type of a contents page for looking for particular events, and I'll be filling in that half here. But other than that, this is complete and I'll just be working in this. So yeah, loving that. And then the last thing I use is an Archer and Olive planner, and I use it for socials. But this year I used Cozy Bookworm, and I took it like he was holding a journal or a planner rather than an actual book. And this has just been fantastic. I really love it. I fill this out, and then this is all my stats. I have my totals here at the start, my top video. I use the subscription. I do a video update of setting this up every month, and it's great fun being able to use the stickers. I might change up how much I use next year now that I've went to the ultimate subscription, but I'll talk about that more in my August setup, because I want to use the ultimate for a full month before I really update you on whether I think there's enough in it or not. So we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I absolutely love this. And then each week print little thumbnails of what I've done for memories and add in all the milestones. And this is a different type of journal, I suppose, but it's not a planner, you know, because I'm not writing in that today I want to edit and schedule. I'm going in sometimes at the end of the week and writing what I did. So it is definitely memories and milestones. And been doing this for a few years now. And it's just so much fun, really enjoying it. So that is my half year update. I hope you enjoyed that. We'll definitely do one at the end of the year. Can't believe we're halfway through the year. If you've any questions or was something I forgot to mention, please do let me know and I'll answer you. But until next time, take care and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Through the arbor, in the garden room, wings are beating, baby, me and you alone. Pencil drawing, faces becoming seen into. Slowly we take on phosphorescent